I just want to go over to Tina. If you guys do not know Tina or you've never seen Treaty's promotions, then you're lost somewhere. I'm kidding. But Tina has actually sort of like set the platform for a lot of beauty pageants, especially African beauty pageants in this country. She's been doing it for 10 years. She's been organizing beauty pageants in this country for 10 years. This is one of the outcomes of her beauty pageants, and there are other girls who weren't actually here today, but some of them have been in movies, some of them have done plays, and it's kind of like, it's not just about that day or just winning the prize. It's more than that, and she's a testimony to that. So just give her a round of applause, first of all.
Thank you, everybody.
So Tina, first of all, I just want to ask, how did it all start? What made you start Miss Africa Ireland 10 years ago?
Okay, when I got into Ireland, it was in '97. I could say we had just very few Africans around, so much that we kind of knew each other. We were so few. And there was this day, it was in a restaurant, McDonald's, to be precise. And there was a little boy of like 9 years old. I've told this story like a million times, but I'll still keep on telling it. That was actually what triggered it off. And the boy came over to me, and the first thing he said was that, "Where is your tail?" And I'm like, "Excuse me?" From a 9-year-old boy. But before he did that, he was already going round and round my seat. And I was wondering why he was doing that. I thought it was just a hyper 9-year-old. But not knowing that he was actually looking for my tail, because his mom had told him that all African people have tails and they're like monkeys. And I'm like, oh my God. So when he came over to me and asked me that, and I'm like, why did you ask that? He went, my mom told me that all African people are black like monkeys and they have tails. And I'm like, oh my God. She said that to you? And his mom was just there listening, and she went all pink and everything. And I said, okay, fine. Go and tell your mom that she's ignorant and she doesn't know anything about Africans. I said, look at me, I'm an African. I don't have a tail. I'm exactly like you. The only difference is that what you pay to get, the tan that you pay to get, I don't have to pay to get it. It's so come natural, and I'm all tan. So, and the woman just stood up and came over and got her son, and they walked out. And I just said, okay, this is it. Those people are fresh. They haven't traveled a lot, and they really need to kind of associate with more Africans for them to know more about us, our culture, our beauty, our heritage. Because most of the time, what they show on national television is things like concern is showing. Fine, it's good. They're trying to help Africa. But it would be good to show a bit of the other side of it as well. Not only dying and hungry children, starving, things like that. All the ugly sides have been showed, and none of the other sides have been showed. So that kind of triggered it off for me, and I said, okay, fine. Even if it's just going to be only 100 people in the audience, we're going to do Miss Africa Ireland. And that was how it started in 2000.
In 2000, very good. Yeah. And since then, we can actually see that it's grown. So tell us about the experience so far. What's been the great times of doing Miss Africa?
I'm telling you, it's been wonderful. It's been fantastic. We've been everywhere. We've been on TV3 a few times. We've been on Irish Times, most of Irish magazines and African magazines here in Ireland. And I'm telling you, the queens, the contestants, it's not just the queens. So that's the difference with Miss Africa. We don't just concentrate on only the winners. We concentrate on all the contestants, and we invite them to modeling shows, fashion shows, talk shows. We make sure that we get them all involved. We carry everybody all along. Once you've been involved once, you're involved forever in Miss Africa, and that's the way it goes on. So, and you can tell from our winners, they've grown. They've grown into being what they were actually aspiring to be before they actually contested. Like Nofe said, Nofe's gone ahead, and you can see the achievement. We have one of the contestants, one of the winners, that went ahead and contested and won Miss Malaika, UK, and then she went ahead and she contested in her country, Congo, and then she was elected to contest in Miss World. We've had Leah Flynn, who went ahead to contest for Miss Africa Ireland. We have our current Miss Africa Ireland has been nominated to go and contest in Miss UN in November. There's so many things. These girls just don't win like Elizabeth. Elizabeth was our winner in 2005. She's been in a lot of movies. She's been in plays. It's just, I can go on and on and on about every winner, every contestant, every runner-up, and, it's just a wonderful experience. So if you're out there and you still haven't made up your mind about being part of this beautiful organization, then there you go. There's your chance.
Okay, so as you've told us about the great things about Miss Africa. Obviously, with anything you're going to do, there are going to be challenges.
Yeah.
But there's one thing I just want to point out because I think it's a very touchy and it's a very emotional thing to talk about because people, not even just with African pageants, I think with other pageants, people always think it's been rigged or it's been fixed or, and you coming from an organizer's point of view. And I actually want some of the contestants to actually comment on that as well. As in, how do you feel when you hear or when people even write things about that?